Joe Gardner, a middle school music teacher from New York City, dreams of a career in jazz, even though his mother Libba objects to it, fearing for his financial security. One day, Joe learns of an opening in the band of jazz legend Dorothea Williams and auditions for it. Impressed with Joe's piano playing, Dorothea offers him a chance to perform later that night. As Joe happily heads off to prepare for the show, he falls down a manhole. Joe finds himself as a soul heading into the great beyond. Unwilling to die before his big break, he tries to escape but ends up in the great before, where soul counselors, all named Jerry, prepare unborn souls for life. Each soul has a badge, which once filled out with traits, grants passage to Earth. Mistaken for an instructor, Joe is assigned to train 22, a cynical soul who has remained in the great before for millennia and sees no point in living on Earth. She needs to find her spark to complete her badge and agrees to give it to Joe so that he can return home. Joe tries to assist 22 in finding a passion, but the attempts prove futile. With no other options, they head for the Zone, an area people enter when their passion sets them into a euphoric trance. It also houses the lost souls who become obsessed and broken. Moonwind, the captain of a psychedelic ship bearing a troop of mystics without borders, helps rescue the lost souls. The mystics agree to help Joe, who has been in a coma since his fall. Joe excitedly hops back to Earth, but accidentally brings 22 along, resulting in 22 entering his body and Joe ending up in a therapy cat. Initially frightened, 22 settles into Joe's body and finds great enjoyment in the little things in life. She holds deep and poignant conversations with Connie, a student who planned to quit the school band, but who changes her mind after losing herself in a passionate, impromptu trombone solo. Dez, who wanted to become a veterinarian but is now enjoying his career as a barber, and Libba, who reconciles with Joe and finally accepts her son's passion for music. Meanwhile, Terry, an accountant designated to counting souls headed to the great beyond, goes to Earth to look for the missing Joe. Joe and 22 find Moonwind on Earth at his day job as a sign twirler to help restore Joe to his body, but 22 experiences an epiphany and decides she must find her purpose on Earth. She flees with Joe tailing behind, but Terry catches up and brings both back to the great before. 22 realizes that her badge has been filled out, yet Joe insists that it was the result of his experiences and tastes. 22 angrily tosses the badge at him and disappears into the Zone. Joe later learns that instead of a life's purpose, a spark simply means that a soul is ready to live. Joe heads back to Earth and has a successful performance with the Dorothea Quartet. The experience, however, is not as fulfilling as Joe expected. Worse, he might have to repeat the same routine night after night. Realizing his senseless and selfish ways with 22, he decides to return the badge. Inspired by the objects she collected while in his body, Joe plays the piano to enter the Zone and look for 22, who has become a lost soul. Using a small maple seed 22 had kept, Joe convinces her that she is ready to live, returning her to normal. With her badge back, 22 finally enters Earth, with Joe accompanying her for as long as he can. As he prepares to head into the great beyond, Joe is stopped by a Jerry who thanks him for inspiring them and offers him another chance at life. Joe accepts and returns to his body on Earth, now ready to live and appreciate every moment of his life.